From this moment on, I'm going full haste on my Warlock. Today we are doing something different. I'm starting with a normal, balanced Affliction setup, heavy on mastery, solid versatility, just like every higher ranking Warlock you see in the Battlegrounds today. Yes, almost every top Warlock in PvP stacks mastery, and here's why. Mastery boosts the raw damage of every single dot tick. That's why mastery is king in Battlegrounds. Stronger sustained pressure, heavier burst windows, and better value from every global you spend. But what if we flipped that logic? What if faster globals and quicker dot ticks could actually turn the tide? What if we push this build to the limit until my Warlock becomes a pure, haste-obsessed monster? Let's see how it changes everything. First, to track my global cooldown, I have installed a custom weak aura. That black bar you see in the center will show the exact length of my global cooldown in real time. And here's my current setup. I've got around 5% haste. In Battlegrounds, your role as an Affliction Warlock is to spread decay, to infect multiple enemies with painful dots and create overwhelming pressure. You are the slow, inevitable death creeping over the battlefield. To do that, we constantly keep our dots active on as many targets as possible. So now I'm going to test one simple thing. Just how fast can I spread those dots across the enemy team with only 5% haste? Does this look fast to you? Yeah, not really. That's the problem with the mastery heavy setup. Each hit feels powerful, but the whole rotation moves like a turtle. It's strong, but painfully slow. So now let's crack things up. I'm going to start stacking haste to lower my global cooldown and speed up every single dot tick. I'm starting my setup with 3600 bloody tokens and 4500 conquest points. I'm no expert on Warlocks, but most higher ranking Affliction Warlocks are running with a 4-piece tier set. Luckily, the head, shoulders, chest, and gloves all come with haste as one of their secondary stats. So I will buy the Warmonger pieces first, then convert them into tier gears. For the weapon, of course, we are going with one that has haste on it. Next up is the legendary cloak from the Koresh patch, which also rolls perfectly with haste, so that's another easy pick. Finally, for crafted gears, I will craft a ring and a necklace tuned specifically for my stat goals. And I will make haste enhanced bracer through engineering to round out the build. After that, I will pick up the remaining slots and enchant everything for pure haste, no exceptions. Here's my current gear and setup. In a PvP environment, my base haste is already close to 40%, but this is just the beginning. With the Hellcaller hero talent, I gain an extra 10% haste whenever I cast Malevolence, and when I use Soul Rot, I can stack to another 12% on top of that. So in combat, my haste can spike well over 60%. Compared to when I only had 5% haste, everything now feels way faster and smoother. But I'm not done yet. You gain extra 30% haste by choosing PvP talent, the Bloodstones. Also, if you go for Troll, you can use the ratio skill for extra 10% haste. Yes, I'm back to the best race in World of Warcraft, the Troll. Let's sum up. You start with 40% haste setting. You can gain 10% additional from Malevolence, 12% from Soul Rot, 30% more from Bloodstone's talent, and 10% more from racial skill, the Berserking. You can reach a total of 136 haste completely on your own, and theoretically, with help from other classes like Bloodlust, Heroism, or a Priest Power Infusion, you could push it close to 200% haste. Let's head into the Battleground. For PvP talents, I'm locking in Rot and Decay and Jinx. Rot and Decay is absolutely essential for a haste-focused Warlock. It extends the duration of your dots whenever you cast Shadow Bolts. That's important because high haste makes your dots tick faster, which normally means they expire too quickly. But with Rot and Decay, that downside is completely gone. You get the benefit of faster ticks without losing uptime, and your damage ramps up even harder. Jinx is also mandatory. It allows your curses to automatically apply Corruption and Agony. The Haste Warlock playstyle revolves around this synergy. Use Jinx to spread your dots quickly, generate tons of soul shards through rapid ticking, then spend them all with Malfit Rupture to melt your opponents. Some of you might wonder why I didn't pick Bloodstone as one of the core PvP talents. Don't get me wrong, I love Bloodstone. It's incredibly strong buff. But when you look at the bigger picture, Hellstone usually benefits the entire team more, since it gives huge heal and can save lives. So Bloodstone is something I only pick when there is another Warlock on the team, or when I'm confident that our healers can fully support me during the fight. Otherwise, sticking with Hellstone is the smarter team play. Let's take a look at the hero talent, the Hellcaller. This one hits hard. Both Wither and Blackened Soul are insanely strong for baseline abilities. There aren't many spells in WoW that hits this hard by default, and it fits perfectly with the haste build. Casting Malevolence gives you a burst of extra haste, which synergies beautifully with the fast-paced Affliction playstyle. If you go with the Soul Harvester instead, you won't get any extra haste, but your main filler spell, the Shadow Bolt, becomes much stronger. Each Nightfall proc adds bonus shadow damage to your target, and your Corruption deals its damage 25% faster, which still makes it a great choice for a haste-focused Warlock. Personally, I think Shadow Bolt is one of the coolest spells in the entire Warlock kit. It is the essence of the class. It fits perfectly with Rot and Decay too, since you will be casting more Shadow Bolts to keep your dots refreshed. So when you pick a Soul Harvester, your gameplay naturally shifts. Shadow Bolt becomes a major part of your rotation, and you start feeling that classic Warlock rhythm all over again. So which hero talent is better, Hellcaller or Soul Harvester? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but here's how I see it. If you want to focus more on pure dot damage and constant pressure, go with Hellcaller. It leans into that fast, decaying, corruption heavy playstyle. If you prefer a caster feel, firing off stronger shadow bolts and direct hits, then Soul Harvester might be more your thing. Either way, both work great with a haste oriented setup. It really comes down to your personal playstyle. And of course, I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your opinion in the comments and tell me which one feels better for you. There were a few things that didn't work out as planned. When I first planned this video, my original goal was stack as much haste as possible and drain the life out of my enemies forever. The logic seemed flawless. More haste means faster channel ticks, faster healing, and with the right talents, I thought I could just keep my dots rolling and spam drain life until no one could out heal me. I mean, come on, we've all seen how absurdly powerful Gul'dan looked in the cinematics, right? But reality turned out to be very different. Maybe that worked back in classic WoW, but in modern WoW, the game is far more complex. You can't just sit there channeling drain life anymore. You will get interrupted, stunned, kicked, or deleted before you finish the cast. Plus, the healing was never good enough to keep the fight going. The fantasy was beautiful, but it didn't work out really well. So after all these tests, here's what I have learned. Yes, Haste Warlock has a few limits, but in PvP, that speed gives you control. You react faster, spread pressures faster, and overwhelm opponents before they can stabilize. It might not be the safest build, but it's one of the most fun, fluid, and aggressive ways to play Affliction right now. Now I'm curious, what do you think? Would you trade power for speed? Or do you still prefer the heavy hitting mastery build? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your own setups. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.